Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting Beyond All Reason game replay. I'm Turdbucket. I'm going to be taking you through this game that I was actually lurking on. I just set myself up as a spectator and left it going for a couple hours, and different games looked interesting to me. This one caught my attention for the length of time it took to end the game. So I'm very interested to see how this game unfolded and what were the key elements of it. I'm going to speed it up a little bit just to save some time, so we'll go to 3 times speed here. And on the blue team, we got XME, Ball, Govna, Dog is Open, Destromech, Hang the Air, Spirits, and TNT Tremor. On the red side, we've got Kibitz, Cookie Destroyer, Kernard, Sashin Power, McDoodle, J1013, Narukar, and Reed's Tweet. I think I pronounced all that correctly. All right, so let's slow it back down now to kind of see where everybody's at now that we're at that 2-minute mark. This is the point in time when you should start seeing commanders walking to the front. You can see Chibitz, Cookie Destroyer, Kernard, Sashin Power all heading to the front. That's a good sign. Rez Tweets, Narukar, J1013, and McDoodle hanging out in the base. Not a good sign for them. On the other side, we do have XMF, Ball, Dog is Open, Destromech all heading to the front. And on the bottom half, we've got Hang the Air, Spirits, and TNT. They're all relatively slow getting to the front. So it's a very interesting dichotomy here. The upper half of the red team is not going to the front, while the upper half of the blue team is. And the lower half for the blue team is not. And the lower half of the red team is. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen to the top and bottom here, because if our rules of bar hold true, the top blue side is going to crush the top red side, and the bottom red side is going to crush the bottom blue side, because the red team is getting their commanders to the front and they are pumping out units, just as the upper blue side is, the top blue side, right? And it's the opposite on the bottom. The commanders are not coming forward and they are not making units. So if everything we say holds true, then we should see the top taking control here, and that's exactly what we do see. So Ball, XMF, and Dog is Open are just raiding these top teams here. I'm saying top teams not in the sense that they're the best players on the team. I'm saying this is the top half of the map. Narukar did get his base raided a little bit. J1013 definitely did. McDoodle is getting smoked here as well. And it's really unfortunate for McDoodle. He sent his commander out of his base as soon as the raid came in. So not only did he not get to stop this from happening, but now he's lost his economy as well. So it's kind of a double whammy there. Hang the Air is going to make contact with McDoodle. He's going to skate away from him. And he is going to try to get back to Sashin Power's base, it looks like. Spreading those units out. It's a beautiful little line of grunts going there. McDoodle is chasing, as well as Sashin Power. Cookie Destroyer is calling out the fact that they're not getting to the front line. They're not holding that line. He's trying to get them to go do that. Meanwhile, Riz Tweet, who's probably the fastest out to the front of the top players here, but still not making any troops. He's going for that static defense, and he is not focusing on building troops quickly here. Same thing with Narukar. He has hardly any troops on the field, and is focusing on building defenses now. So you can see these units are squeaking by. They're finding a bit of a weak spot, and they are still making their way through here. Dog is open, is coming in for another raid. Narakar has lost his entire base at this point. And McDoodle is making his way into Destromech's LLT wall here. And he does lose his commander to those LLTs. Wow, that's tough. Just like that, the team has GG'd. So, we did kind of miss what happened at the bottom half of the map here. That was a very quick game, my goodness. So why don't we actually just run that back real quick. Alright, we're back. We already saw what happened on the top half of the map. Just as we predicted, the teams that got their commanders and their units and continue to build units up to the front won their top half of the map. Let's see what happened down here at the bottom now. So, Cookie, Sibitz, Kinnard, and Sashin Power all getting up to the front. We'll say Cookie and Sibitz certainly had a lot of units out in the field, right? They're definitely continuing to make them. Kinnard and Sashin Power definitely slowed down. They were not making as many units, although they, other than Kinnard, they were still making units. You see an idle lab here, not great, but you know, at least they have the commanders on the front here, right? So, what's happening? You can see here that losing my mouse there. Cookie Destroyer and Sibitz are right up on Tremor. This is the center of the map here that they should be holding, and they've already popped out a nice bubble here. Now, Spirits is able to come up with troops in his commander. He did not get out to the front very early, but he was able to come by and push Cookie Destroyer back.
Commander destroyed.
Slow this thing down for a second. Actually pause it. So, Cookie Destroyer leaves the game after his commander is blown up, and then during that time he'd already called a vote to end the game because it was pretty much lost at this point. So we see there was an early bubble created by Cookie Destroyer and Sibitz, but that bubble was quickly popped because Spirits was able to come down. He started to make units, and he brought his commander over and was able to push back Cookie Destroyer and ultimately get his commander. Kinnard stopped making troops, stopped advancing. You can see this is the middle line here, and he decided he was going to set up shop way back here. Looks like he was going to switch out his labs and go with vehicles on the front here, so that was kind of his play. Probably why he stopped making troops, and because he was trying to build up his metal so he could throw down this vehicle plant. Sashin Power did his job and continued up to that front line there. Hang the Air did get up to the front finally with his commander and some units. So this was probably going to end up being a little bit of a stalemate, although I will say Sashin Power did have an advantage at this point, being past the midway point of the map. But really, ultimately, if Kinnard had made some troops and was able to push on Hang the Air and Spirits, so let's say he was able to bring some troops down and around and hit Spirits or come in behind him here, that could have changed the game on this bottom half. And even though things weren't looking great for the top, things could have turned very badly for the bottom half of the blue team quite quickly. And if that happened, you know, okay, we preach having your commanders and units up on the front, but that definitely leaves the bottom of these bases very vulnerable, right? They could have come right up the top, right along the side of the map and hit everyone's bases from behind, and that would have been very devastating. And they certainly had the troops to do it until this Spirit's attack came in and did blow up a good number of the troops there. Did take out Cookie Destroyer's commander, and ultimately looks like it caused that GG. So interesting game. The bottom blue team actually did a lot better than I expected, based on uh, their timidity to get to the front. Probably not that. It's probably trying to keep build power in their base, right? A little bit longer, getting a little greedy, not bringing their commanders up quickly, not having troops on the field. Um, it didn't affect the blue team quite as much, and I think the key to all that was Kennard not making troops, because he was going for the lab, the vehicle lab on the front, instead of just continue to um, pump out bots here. So in any case, definitely a loss for red, and it was definitely a quick resign, early resign, but I would say it was warranted. This game was not going to be won by the red team at this point. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a pretty short game and not too much to look at, but we did see our our number one, number two rules of bar: getting your commander and getting troops on the field, having those troops in action, and we saw how it affected each team, ultimately leading to the blue team's victory. So hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Drop a turd in the comments, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.